about your educational background. Where did you go to college?
I attended Truman State.
What degree did you graduate with?
I earned my bachelor's in history and my master's of arts in education.
Now I'd like to focus on your teaching career. When did you begin working at Earhart High School?
In 1992, right after I graduated.
And who were you hired by?
Principal Glenn Jones.
Initially, what did you teach?
I taught various history courses.
Do you have any knowledge as to the condition of test scores before your arrival at Earhart?
Yes. Unfortunately, before I began teaching, they weren't very impressive. But immediately after I was there, test scores started going up.
What is an AP class?
An advanced placement class is a extremely challenging class for students that are willing to take a heavy course load and study really hard. And at the end of the year, they have an exam. And if they score well enough on the exam, they can possibly earn college credit.
Were there any AP classes or AP programs at Earhart?
Before I was teaching there were not.
Who began the first AP program?
I did.
What goes into actually starting an AP program?
It's actually a lot of work. You have to get approved through the principal, through the Board of Education, and then you have to meet national standards and create a year's worth of course load.
Were there any, did you have any involvement in any of your AP programs?
Yes, I helped create about 5 others.
Principal Jones supported your efforts after this, is that correct?
Yes, always.
Did anything significant occur in your life around February 2009?
Yes, I converted to Jainism.
Can you tell me a little bit about what Jainism is?
Jainism is a religion similar to Buddhism and Hinduism in that it believes in peace and balance with nature.
Did you place any symbols of Middle Eastern culture around your classroom?
Objection, leading.
Your Honor, even though it's a yes and no question, I think it's safe to assume that, and it's safe to even state from the question.
What symbols of the nation?
What symbols did you place around your classroom?
First I had the dandia, which were traditional knocking sticks, and then I had some prayer beads and the cloche, which is a picture of perfect symmetry.
And do you see those symbols in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Now, can you tell me specifically what the vase symbolize?
The vase, like I kind of explained, was a picture of perfect symmetry. It represented the perfect balance of the earth.
And since these are your symbols and you touched them and you bought them, how big would you say they are?
Objection. Outside the witness statement and the parish declaration, nowhere in this sworn statement does it say how big these symbols are.
Can I answer your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, everything cannot be fit into a witness statement. We don't have 10 years to write one of these. I think it is fair to say, since she bought these, since it's her religion, since she placed them in her classroom, and she has an aware knowledge of where these are and what they are, that she knows what the symbols are. She knows how big they are. She constantly sees them every single day.
What relevance is their size?
The relevance is the fact that in today's trial, she was fired because of religious intolerance. And these are her religious symbols, and these symbols play a big part in Mr. Loman's decision to actually fire her.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes.
There is no relevance to how big or how small these symbols were. It was the simple fact that they were in Miss Gordon's classroom. And nowhere in the packet does it talk about the size of the religious symbols.
Your Honor, if I may respond, the size is not talked about, but she as a witness does not have the whole time it takes to actually put this in a witness statement. Mock trials rules allow us to build upon the problem, and they actually do encourage that to see how educational the problem can actually become and how intriguing it can actually be. So I believe that it's actually very fair to actually have her testify on how big they are. And I think if they were such a big problem to Principal Loman as they are making it, then it's fair to have the amount of size or how big they actually were.
Well, I'm not convinced the size is relevant, so the objection is sustained. You may proceed.
So, what do they mean? What do they mean? The document.
Those are traditional knocking sticks used in a dance ceremony.
Okay. What did the idea of starting a student-run organization come to
of it towards the end of the 2008-2009 school year.
And what was your idea as to how the club should look like?
I felt like students in our heart didn't have a wide enough view of the cultures of the world, and so I wanted to create an organization that focused on the various cultures of the world.
Did you seek permission to begin the club?
Yes, I did, and I received it.
And who gave you permission?
Principal Glenn Jones.
When did you begin the club?
The beginning of the 2009 school year.
And why not the same year you got permission?
Well, when I first thought of the club, it was towards the end of the school year, and I felt like students were starting to wind down as the school year came to a close. And I thought that it would be better for the club to start with a new school year. That way we could have more committed students.
Who did you approach about being the club?
One of my students, Skylar Duvall.
And how did the name Free Spirit come about?
She actually chose it.
And how often does that club meet?
We met once a week.
And how did a typical meeting look like?
Students would pick a theme for the meeting, and then they would research it, and then can present it to the other students of the club through a presentation or a PowerPoint of some sort.
And was extra credit given for attending the meeting?
Objection leading.
Well, why don't you just ask what kind of credit you think was given?
What kind of credit, if any, was given to attend the meeting?
There was no reward for attending the meeting, but students could earn extra credit for doing extra work, such as writing a paper or some other sort of thing.
Did students who didn't attend the meeting have the same opportunity?
Oh yes, there were plenty of other opportunities that I gave my students for extra credit outside of Free Spirit.
Did you arrange for the club announcements to be read?
Yes, I did.
And how were these presented?
Excuse me?
How were they read?
Oh, they're read over the intercom every week.
Objection outside the scope of witness statement.
Your Honor, we have actual evidence stating that she follows the rules for the club, and she believes she follows them. Do you believe you follow the rules of the club?
Well, an objection is overruled.
Do you mind if I approach the witness?
You may do so.
Now, Ms. Gordon, I am now handing you what has been marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 1. Can you please identify yourself?
Yes, this is the teacher handbook.
And is that a fair and accurate copy of the teacher handbook?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I would like to look at this as plaintiff's exhibit number 1.
Any objection?
No objection, sir.
Exhibit 1 will be admitted.
Now, Ms. Gordon, can you please tell me where here it states the structure of how these meetings should be announced?
Yes. If you'll follow along with me in 5.2 entitled Structure, about halfway through, it says, all TSOs, with the exception of athletic teams, shall create a charter, which is to include the organization's purpose or mission statement, a general schedule of when or how often the organization will meet, and titles and descriptions of the organization's officers, if any.
And did you follow this rule for maintaining your club?
Yes, I did.
And when the announcements were announced, could they be heard around the whole school?
Objection again outside the scope of witness statement. It does not say in this one statement that she did put announcements on the news, and nowhere in this packet does it say that she did.
Your Honor, I think it's safe. She's Miss Christine Gordon. She is the plaintiff in today's trial. She's testifying to what she did. I think it is very fair to her for her to get up here and tell her side of the story. Her side of the story is that she did follow all of the rules in her teacher contract. She also read the announcements, which they are relevant because this is how the club and everybody knew about the club and everybody knew about the opportunities that the club provided. So in today's trial, I think it's very relevant for her to testify as to how the club meetings were ran, how the club was announced to everybody, and the fact that everybody could hear.
May I respond?
Well, we discussed this question. I think the testimony is clear that she followed the rules set forth in Exhibit 1. Does Exhibit 1 talk about how the announcements were made?
It just says that the teachers are supposed to put the announcements on the news, but it does not say in this one statement, which she is bound to under Rule 2.2, that she did put the announcements on.
Your Honor, if you would like, I could ask her if she